Greetings. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Just fade that down and be right with you. Hello. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for coming along and watching these streams. Hello. Hi, Ella. Good to see you. Hi, Jolsonea. Hello, Mattis Martigan. Mattis Martigan, I feel like it has been a while. Gooby Dooby 77 is also here. Hello, Nimsy. He is here as well. Hello, good to see you all. Like, I know, if I say this too much at the start of the streams, please do let me know. But it's so like when I started streaming and like I'd kind of start these streams. By the end of the 10 minutes, I'd maybe have two or three people watching. It is so nice now to kind of come look at the chat while I'm kind of waiting for stream to start and already have people saying hello in the chat. So thank you. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm going to keep saying that because I do, and it doesn't. It's a feeling that doesn't wear off every week. Seeing that in chat, I'm very grateful. So thank you. It has. You have more hair than I remember. I actually got a haircut. This is it cut. Would you believe? I got the standard like non-binary like undercut, right? I got the like I've joined the non-binary brigade. So I don't know if it's like it's less hair, but I think it's certainly grown again. So thank you. I literally just finished re-listening to the episode like on the second. Oh, amazing! Looks great. Thank you. I need to get the underbits shaved. You look cool. Thank you. I'm very warm today. It's lovely. That's why it's so bouncy. I know, it's got space, it's got heft. So the cardigan I'm wearing, my partner got for a photo shoot, but she got it in a sale and couldn't return it. So she was like, I was just going to donate this. And whenever my partner says, I was just going to donate this, that's like the cue for me to like climb over the bed with an athleticism I don't actually possess. Just going, clothes for Amber, clothes for Amber. So that's where the cardigan comes from. It's the ugliest thing in the whole world. Like, look at this. Oh my God. But, it's so comfortable. It's so nice. I'm never leaving the house with it on, but oh goodness. But anyway, so we're doing Camlann again. We're almost at the end of the series. It's cute. Thank you. We're nearly at the end of the series for Camlann. This is like the second last behind the scenes stream for the time being for now. And that's a very odd feeling. I mean, there's going to be more streams about specific parts of the series, I imagine, and doubtless I'll find something else to talk about when it comes to Camlann. But it's weird to think that, like, in terms of the episode breakdowns, this is the second last one, which is quite strange. But we're not going to dwell on that. We're not going to dwell on that or my cardigan. It's beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Jolson. I appreciate that. But yeah, so episode 8. There is so much going on in this episode. Ella found a way in this episode at one point to have 2 scenes going on at the same time, which was a new thing. I didn't know you could do that. But yeah, we have that in this episode. I'm looking forward to talking about that. And then we've also got lots of big actions happening in this one. And then we've also got some fun recording stuff to talk about as well. I was sad, and then I remembered the end of the series means the album will come out soon. Yes, it does. It does. The next couple of things to come out after the series finishes is, first of all, there'll be a Bandcamp version of the series. So if you're wanting to listen to the series in like a WAV format or like CD quality audio, you can get that from Bandcamp. And then I'll also be putting together the music as well, the music album. It's coming together really nicely. Like admittedly, my organizational technique has not been the best when it's come to the music for this series, but everything is exported, and I've been exporting things in high quality and in MP3 formats and things. So, like it'll take a bit of time. I've not really been naming stuff as I go, so I'll need to come up with names for things. But yeah, I'm excited for the music album to come out, and I'm especially excited for you to hear the music for the next episode, because we were working on that on Saturday, and oh man, like I had Alessa in the studio on Saturday recording violin parts for episode 9. Oh boy, it's really, really good. Absolutely no pressure. Maybe like the tiniest bit of pressure. I mean, the thing is, right? I'm excited. I want the soundtrack album to come out. Like, I'm super proud of this soundtrack, and like, yeah, all parts of it I absolutely love and adore. I need to speak to Kai and Ollie specifically about like what we're gonna do with the with the music that they came up with. Maybe that's like a separate album or something, but I don't know. But the main bit of music will be coming out soon. But like, I can't give you like a specific release date, mainly because I'm still making the series and my brain has no space for anything else. But we're so close. We're so close. Yeah. I listen to the credits literally every time because of the theme. Thank you. See, that is one of the best compliments you can give a musician working on a podcast, is that you stick around for the credits because you want to hear the music. Thank you. That's very kind. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to put the soundtrack album out. I'm sorry if I've ever made it sound like a chore. Like, it isn't. Like, I really enjoy doing that part of the process. It's just one of these things where, like, it takes a bit of time to put it all together. But it's mostly going to be naming stuff and, like, figuring out an order for things, and making sure it flows nicely. But, yeah, that's coming soon. But, let's get the series finished first. Right, so, episode 8. Lots of stuff happening. This is the first time I've had to do a stream where, like, I probably shouldn't be drawing attention to this, but this is the... Can't wait for horse. Yes, so I think somebody on Tumblr specifically said, I think we can all agree that we've answered the question that horses are in fact still a thing, which I thought was wonderful. So this is the first time I've done a stream like this, and I've had to specifically rename some of the tracks because they're spoilers. You probably shouldn't be drawing attention to that, but yeah, that's the first time I've had to do that, and that's just very funny to me. Yeah, so we're not going to listen to the whole episode all the way through, just because it's like half an hour, and I'm only here for 2 hours, and we've got a lot to get through. So we're just going to dive straight in. So in the first scene, we have the return of the boy. We have the return of the boy Gawain, and it's a lot of fun. So like, editing this wasn't too bad. It was more kind of a spacing issue was kind of what we had to deal with this one, right? So if we just listen to it quickly. It was mostly trying to figure out where Gawain was coming, how far Gawain was and where Gawain was coming from. The boy. I really like... I'll talk about it in a bit.
Our wassail is made of the elderberry bough, and so, my good neighbours, we'll drink unto thou. Besides, all on earth you have apples in store. Pray let us come in, for it's cold by the door. Gawain! Fall-it-all-it-all-it-all-it-all-it-all-it-all-it-all-it-all. Fall-it-arrow, fall-it-ary, sing to Raleigh.
So we recorded that in this tiny room, and we had Gawain, we had Paul at a distance, and then gradually walked towards Tobias. In terms of what that meant in the edit, was quite fun. So I really like the way that Paul gradually fades in. I really like how that has come together. And it is like, if you look at that, it's a very slow fade, and even then is still really quiet, and then gradually fades up a little bit more. He also starts right the way over in the right headphone, which I suppose is that way for you guys. Starts all the way over on the right, and then gradually moves towards the center as the scene goes on. If you just listen to it on its own. Sort of this side on me. So starting to move towards the centre.
Some nutmeg and ginger, the best we could bake.
We're coming into the centre just now.
Sing to Ralayo.
The way I put it, the way I kind of have it in my head is like it's Di's head turning is kind of the way I pictured it in my head. Is that's kind of where the sound comes from. And yeah, I just like how it fades into the background. Should I be watching this with headphones? I think you'll get the best results with headphones because it means when you're listening to things like panning effects and stuff, you'll kind of get what I'm talking about. And there is a lot of stereo stuff in this one, so I think if you have headphones, it's for best listening, we recommend headphones. But I really like how you hear the singing just cut through the soundscape. There's something really lovely about that. It's really quiet at first as well. Yeah, and yeah, so that was a nice little kind of little experiment that we played around with. For this next singing bit, so Paul has the unique distinction of being the only member of the cast of Camlann to sing accompanied. Everyone else is singing unaccompanied, but I was kind of really struggling with the pacing of this scene because it's sort of the way it's sounding and the way it kind of ended up sounding just with the recordings. Paul Gwena sort of appears.
Our sail is made of the elder
and just sort of slowly walks towards Di.
Sail is made of the elder bough, and so my good neighbours will drink unto thou. Besides all on earth you have apples in store. Pray let us come in, for it's cold by the door.
Great! So I was kind of like, that's a long time. That's a long time to just have without any audio at all. Robin and Tobias were so jealous. Well, the thing is, it happened after the fact. Like this was very much an editing thing. And it was just because this bit does go on for quite a while. And I know the idea was there was meant to be maybe a bit more of a fade. But just in terms of like, Sassy Catastrophe, hello, good to have you here. We're talking about Camlann episode 8, which is good fun. So this bit just kind of, it is a very long walk, right? And I kind of wanted to make, and there's not really a lot of feeling kind of in it, right? Like you're not really getting much from Di at this point. You're just sort of standing watching. And I kind of wanted something just to move that out a little bit more. And I was kind of like, well, I could maybe put another piece of music from the series. So I tried putting the original, the theme underneath maybe, but then that didn't work because you had the singing clashing with whatever I was putting on underneath. So eventually I just went, you know what, I'm gonna have to do it live. So I just plugged in a piano here, which I believe is, yeah. So I've got there's a piano, there's a granulizer, and then there's some reverb. It was a very, very simple thing. But I just played the scene and then just played piano alongside the singing and sort of moving with Paul to a certain extent. So if you just have the piano on its own, it's really simple, really simple. Lou, hi, I'm here, but I'm cleaning boots and oiling tent ropes. That's fascinating. Are you indoors, or are you getting internet in a field somewhere? So this is just this music on its own. Indoors, right? Okay, good to hear it. There's quite a. It's a very glitchy piano part. but I kind of wanted it to sound quite magical, because you sort of had the revelation of the last episode, and I kind of wanted to bring an element of that into the show. So I just played that along with this part of the.
Our wassail is made of the elderberry bough, and so, my good neighbours, we'll drink unto thou. Besides, all on earth you have apples in store. Pray
it sounds purple. I'll take that. That makes me very happy.
It's cold by that.
So, it sounds purple. That makes me really happy. I like to think that if my music had a color, it would be purple. So that makes me very happy. Thank you. Considering that that Paul was singing completely unaccompanied, and as far as he was aware, there wasn't going to be any music underneath, it's surprisingly in tune.
And so, my good neighbours, we'll drink unto thou. Besides, all on earth you have apples in store. Pray let us come in, for it's cold by that.
Right, so the reason why that vocal is cutting off is because at that point I switched it back to another vocal track over here.
For it's cold by that door.
Gwen!
Well,
he was so self-conscious about singing. Exactly right. Like there's something really like lovely and human about the singing here. I mean, the singing's been fantastic throughout the series, but yeah, like I think it's kind of good for Gwen as well. For Gwen as a character, like putting this music underneath, I think it sort of it sets up this character as kind of not being quite real, which I really enjoyed. And also there's an element of triumph here, right? That Gwen, not just that Gwen is still alive, but also that Gwen managed to like win the story, I guess. So, yeah, I kind of... these are all things I'm thinking about after the fact, right? None of these were conscious thoughts. Eclipse Sky, hello! The drop on door is very good. Thank you. It was because I couldn't figure out what note Paul was singing.
You have apples in store. Pray let us come in, for it's cold by that door.
Gwen! So for the sound design here, I was basically just like... It was slightly awkward in the recording because Paul was just sort of standing in front of Tobias. And I was kind of like, I don't really want Gwen to just sort of stand there and finish the song. So I've put in some sound design to indicate the idea that Gwen is sort of jumping around, being silly and dancing a little bit. I'll mute the music to give you an idea.
Fallen arrow, fallen Ari, sing to Ralio.
Yeah. So that's also. So I have to fess up to something here. So I did this whole scene. I designed the entire scene and then moved on to the rest of the episode. And it wasn't until maybe I was about halfway through the rest of the episode that I remembered that it was supposed to be snowing. So I'd put all these footsteps in, and all of them were like grass and like the footsteps from the rest of the series, completely forgetting it was supposed to be snowy. So then I had to redo all the footsteps individually, putting snow crunches on them, which was very frustrating. So the lesson of that story is read your scripts. Anyway.
Merry Christmas time.
They are actually hugging here as well. I want to make that very clear. Like that's a genuine. That's not a sound design hug. That's
Merry Christmas time.
Sometimes things work out.
100% genuine hug. It sounds like it. Yeah, well, like at this point, Paul had been locked in a room for 2 days. I mean, no, the timing. Like, so there's a little bit of stitching here that the music's covering. So there's an extra bit from a different take here, like of the bit before the hug, just because I kind of wanted them laughing and hugging a little bit, and also making it clear that this bit here, the sometimes things work out, is voiceover, because otherwise it just sounds like the scene sort of stops and Di kind of turns to the camera and goes, sometimes things work out, and I kind of wanted it to be a bit more organic, so cut a bit from a different take. So this bit here. It's so nice. Like,
Merry Christmas Day.
oh, just everyone just acting. Oh, just oof. Anyway, so theme music.
Sometimes things work out.
It's a great hug. It is a great hug. It is a great hug.
Camlann, Episode 8, Prodigal Son.
Was the last line also said while hugging? You mean the sometimes things work out line? Because that wasn't. That was done to microphone, much more as a voice, as a monologue voiceover, as opposed to the hug. So you get that nice sort of muffled sound, which I really loved. I think we were very much wanting that sound as well. So first scene where you've got everyone together. So I had everyone standing around the microphone. Paul was playing with Hobbs, and we had all five of them around the mic. Actually, hang on. Yes. So I was going through some documents today, and I found the recording notes I made while I was recording. So I'm trying to see if I can find. I don't think I did a scene. Yeah. So don't know if you can see that there. So that is my that is my slightly nonsensical diagram of how I was doing this scene. So we had the microphone in the middle. Paul was on the sofa and then stood up halfway through the scene, and then everyone else was sort of around the microphone, so it was forming this little semicircle around it. So for scenes like this, it worked really, really nicely. It worked really well, just because it meant we could put the microphone on omnidirectional mode and kind of take advantage of the natural room tone, as you can kind of tell when you listen to it.
Hey, gal, who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Are you a good boy? Yes, you are. Oh, I missed you. Yes, I did. I missed you.
How do you know it's Christmas?
And where did you get all this food from?
Oh, don't keep it a calendar. Arthur made us do it, and I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
A consistent struggle I had with this episode, specifically with this episode, is that Paul has a really boomy voice. And it bounced off every single surface in this room, including the roof, which is not soundproofed, and that wall, which is not soundproofed, and that wall, which has a little bit of soundproofing on it, but not too much. And the windows, just Paul's wonderful, sonorous voice bouncing off all of it.
Don't keep it a calendar. Arthur made us do it, and I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
So I'm going to see if I can demonstrate this. So if I bring the polarizer up. Yeah, the mic. So right here you have this is the polar pattern. So it's on omnidirectional right now, on Paul's line. So if I put that on a figure of 8.
Don't keep it a calendar. Arthur made us do it, and I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
And the food.
Yeah, hang on.
Arthur made us do it, and I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
And the food.
And also I think it's a positioning thing as well, because I think as far as the polarizer is concerned, Paul is like around here somewhere. So if I put that on So we kind of had to have it on omnidirectional mode. Or do that. Right?
Don't keep a calendar. Arthur made us do it, and I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
And the food?
So it's a trick. It's not the worst problem in the world to have, but yeah, it was a continuous problem. And also having 5 actors around a microphone is a challenge, no matter what you're recording or how you're recording it.
And I figured it was a habit that wasn't worth breaking.
And the food?
You know what it's like out there. Those places are pretty much untouched. If there are any survivors, they weren't in the city.
So the chatty. Voice so bassy, walls are no barrier. This bounces off and hits the microphone again and again and again and again. All the reflections.
To survive this snow if we don't keep the wood burner going. Besides, it's a good way to keep in shape.
Is it physically possible for you to be out of shape?
I'd prefer not to find out. Gwen?
And then the other side of it is that Nicole's voice is really quiet. So it's desperately trying to like level the two of them.
Gwen?
Go on. I'll be fine.
So I want to just take a little second to just appreciate the scene transition here.
Happy to help.
Goes from indoor to outdoor with the door closing. It's much more noticeable when you go from outdoors to indoors, but it's kind of there. So sort of follow
Happy to
Gawain out. And then we have the definitely not gay wood chopping scene. So, a little fun thing for the start that kind of... This is absolutely not a conscious thing. This was just a thing that happened during the sound design process that I thought, this changes the context of the scene a little tiny bit, doesn't it? So the sound of Perry picking up the axe here, it's the same sound I used at the end of episode 5. Just because I don't have that many axe picking up sounds. So it's the same sound of an axe being picked up from the moment where Gawain is about to get killed and this moment here. It was a practical decision, but I think in terms of what that means for the series, I think that's interesting. That creates an interesting little extra effect that wasn't intended, which I thought was quite kind of interesting. And then it makes the line at the end even more like, oof.
Chopping wood isn't really a two-person job.
I want to be very clear. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
So, this scene is very chopped up. And the reason for that is that Robin vastly overestimated how much wood the average person can chop. Like, it was very rhythmic and like.
I want to be very clear.
Yeah, chopped up. Yeah, no, very. Oh, I'm annoyed I didn't spot that. I'm sorry. Oh, like the wood.
I want to be very clear.
Basically, I had to slow Robin down because I'm like, that's too much wood. Perry, we don't need that much firewood. I only know the wood chipper. I only know. I'll try that again. I only know I do know how to talk, I promise. I only know the wood chopper lesbian from TikTok. I think this is a similar vibe.
Chopping wood isn't really a two-person job.
I want to be very clear. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Also, I wanted the chopping to like punctuate the scene. Yeah, for sure. I wanted it to punctuate the scene more, so I did have to kind of slow it down a little bit.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
It was intended as a tongue twister. Fair enough. You got me.
Di is my best friend.
I know.
If you hurt him again, if you betray him again, it's not Arthur you'll have to worry about. Understood, Sir Gawain.
And I know I've talked about this in the last few streams, but I it's worth talking about again. There's another example of actions in of how to do an action in a sound design context. So let's look at the sound effects here. So we've got let's do this properly. So you have the wood being put on the thing, and then you have like a footstep back, and then the swing, the chop, and then the wood being taken off. So it means that at every stage of the process, you know where everything in this action has gone. So you get the footsteps of a piece of wood being put on the block. So your mind is like, there's a piece of wood on a chopping block, and then you get the movement of stepping back, you get the swing, that's the action, and then you get the little extra action at the end of the wood falling off or being thrown off. And then that's a completed action. So it's just repeating that action. So you've got the lead up, which is the wood being put on, and then the step back. The step back is your lead up, and then you've got the actual action itself, which is the swing and the actual chop, and then you've got the after effect, which is you've got the tail, which is the sort of the reaction sound of the wood here at the bottom, and then also the wood of the movement of the wood coming off afterwards. Or it would help if I played the entire sound, and then you just repeat that sound.
Friend.
I know.
If you hurt him again, if you betray us, betray him again. It's not Arthur you'll have to worry about. Understood, Sir Gawain.
Got it? Paradia.
Great. Finish up here. You're good with
What did I do here? Like, Ella, I can't quite remember this. Did we give... Was this the scene where we gave Robin a boom pole? I can't remember. So, I think, because there's definitely like an action here.
Great. Finish up here.
Hey, so yeah, I thought so. So, for this scene... For this scene, I was like, right, we need something for Robin to swing, right? And the only thing I really had was a boom pole. So this is what I use when I'm doing film shoots or outdoor shoots. So you stick the big fluffy microphone on the end, and then you extend this out all the way, and you sort of hold it like this, and then it kind of goes out, and that's how you record sound stuff. So also works. Also works as an axe, apparently. You mean you don't own an axe? Legally, no. So, throw that back down. Just wanted to share that. For some reason, I imagine Perry in full plate armor always, and I can't stop someone help them. It seems so uncomfortable. When I was in New York, we went to the Metropolitan Museum, and they have like a lot of armor there. A lot of they've got a whole medieval wing, which is exciting. But yeah, there's so much armor, and I'm like, this all looks horrifically uncomfortable. I get why it was worn. They also had an armored skirt, and I'm like, oh, where can I get one of these? Anyway,
Finish up here.
so what did I add? I added some sound to that. I just can't quite remember what it was. Footstep. Was that a punch sound that I used? What are you, my friend? Oh, it's a sandfall. Okay. Yeah. So that sound is somebody falling on sand, but it's got enough of a sort of rattle to it. It kind of worked for this purpose.
Finish up here.
You're good with an axe, right?
Prick.
So, plate mail is fine if it's well fitted. I've worn chain and plate and chased someone through the forest. Amazing. I hope you caught them. Sorry, I feel like I need to explain this. My partner left for Canada this morning. So my partner's in Canada this week for a film. Yes, you did. Miles is slow. Amazing. So my partner is away for a week, so I've kind of been in the house by myself, and I'm going to be in the house by myself all week. And just a very strange thing happens whenever my partner is away for an extended period of time. I kind of it takes me a while to adjust, and I go very weird for maybe 24 to 48 hours. So I'm apologizing if my chat's a bit off. It's just I miss my wife tales. I miss her a lot. That's where I'm at right now.
Prick.
Sorry, just. So for Paul's last line, I said to Paul, you need to come quite close to the microphone and you need to like look directly at it when you do that line, because that really needs to hit. And the problem is that when I was recording it and when I was editing it, it just sounded like Paul was directing it at me.
Prick.
It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that just makes me laugh. Just saying, anyone who casts me as a knight, I come with my own chin plate Foley. I just, you know how you get those articles that are like, what to wear for a recording session, what not to wear for a recording session. I've not seen on any of those lists, chain and plate armor. So who knows? We haven't solved that particular question yet. I've not seen it. How do we know? We don't. I've got a lovely garage scene here. I feel like I'm skipping over when I do these streams. I skip over the Gwen and Morgan scenes, and I know. Oh no, it's not Lesbian Visibility Week anymore. It was last week. Sorry, but like, I really like these scenes as well, and I think they're amazing. And Ankara and Gwen are just, Ankara and Nicole, sorry, are just incredible and brilliant. But because they're so wonderful and brilliant, it means for these scenes I don't really need to do anything. Like maybe some music. Is there music in this scene? There is some music in this scene. But for the most part, it's a very they're very straightforward scenes in terms of the sound design and the Foley. I appreciate these scenes because it means when I'm editing, I get a rest. Like, it means I can go, I can just kind of blaze through this scene. Oh, God. Sorry, my ring came off. It means I can kind of go through these scenes quite quickly. We can't see the lesbians anymore. I'm so sad. I'm glad this is a podcast. See, we're doing what we can, like they may not be visible anymore, but they can still be heard. I once did Foley for Elas by pulling my orc mask off. My God.
And terrible at communicating when it really matters.
This is the same piece of music.
But he's also the only family I have left.
So that's the other thing about this episode, like in terms of like music. I needed a rubber mask sound. Okay, yeah, right. That makes more sense. The thing with the music for this episode is that we're starting to bring music cues back from earlier on in the series. And we'll kind of talk about this a little bit more when we get to episode 9. But it has sort of reached the stage where we're kind of bringing the themes, we're kind of recontextualizing the music now that everyone's here. And that's an interesting thing I've done with quite a few shows, and it was kind of nice to do it here. There is one piece of original music that I'll talk about when we get there, which I think is coming up in the next scene, actually. So, we now have the campfire scene. Oh, the campfire scene. Just noticed. There we go. Sorry.
Cider when we call again.
But still.
So one thing I will say about this scene is that the vocals are the messiest thing in the entire universe, but I kind of love it. Like, there's something really organic about this scene, both in the performance and also in the recording as well, the actual audio recording. It feels like a lot of people in a really lovely way. So this little green line here, by the way, that represents the polarizer. So that represents the polar pattern of the microphone. So if you just watch it as the scene goes.
Fools! I think those medieval monks were onto something.
No one asked you for a speech, Di.
And yet, I'm giving you one anyway.
Oh, sorry, I just realised. I was saying, look at this, and then hit it behind my massive head. So if you watch what the polar pattern is doing here, while I'm trying to desperately keep the microphone pointing at whoever's talking at that point.
I think those medieval monks were onto something.
No one asked you for a speech, Di.
And yet, I'm giving you one anyway. Everything is shit. The world ended. I lost almost every person I've ever cared about in horrible, violent ways. I lost Netflix, and video games, and podcasts, and Spotify, and dominoes. I can't binge on TikTok because it's not a thing, so I guess any boomers left alive are feeling good about that one.
And then it gets even more wild over here.
The point is, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Just lots of very, 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 like, dramatic changes in polarization, where basically, I think we actually have we do have a video of this scene being recorded. Hang on, let me see if I can get it for you. I think Ross filmed it, right? Nope, not that one. Campfire, what we're looking for. Listening to music. I think it was this one. Yeah, okay, so I'll just bring this up here. Just to make sure you can hear it properly. So this was this is how we recorded the campfire scene.
Sweet. We hope that your apple trees prosper and bear, so let me recite them when we call next year. And when you have one bough, we hope you'll have 10, so we may have cider when we.
Oh, this is the take. This is the take we used, I think, as well.
Oh man, this is it. Life is kind of okay. The moon is bright, the stars are beautiful, the fire is warm, and my belly is full. I think those medieval monks were onto something.
No one asked you for a speech, Di.
And yet, I'm giving you one anyway.
So they all had cans, and I said to them, don't open them until we've started recording. So you get this lovely sound throughout this of people drinking and opening up cans, and yeah, it's kind of beautiful. And then also, I think Tobias stands up. Yeah.
Everything is shit. The world ended. I lost almost every person I've ever cared about in horrible, violent ways.
Tobias just got to like properly perform the scene, which I really liked.
And video games, and podcasts, and Spotify, and dominoes. I can't binge on TikTok because it's not a thing, so I guess any boomers left alive are feeling good about that one. But, you know what? I didn't lose. I didn't lose myself.
I think there's a point where a police car comes.
It turns out I am a lot tougher than I thought I was. I always figured I'd be in the corpse heap, in the inevitable zombie apocalypse. Have we seen any zombies yet? No. Well,
he's moving almost just as I was imagining it while I was listening. Oh.
Oh, okay. The point is, I'm stronger than I thought I was. I'm not dead, and I'm
Sisters with Transistors. Yeah, a great film. Really good film. It's a documentary about women in electronic music.
Not broken. We're alive. I can feel my heart beating and the blood in my cheeks, and I'm warm, and my mouth tastes like cider, and I'm alive. And you're alive. And we're alive, and the night sky looks like magic, and everything is kind of okay. And you know what? That's amazing. We did it. The monsters tried to take everything we had, tried to take us from ourselves, make us something we weren't, something we didn't want to be. They wanted to make us
I thought you all really liked electricity.
scared and angry, and I am angry. And I'm scared.
That's an ambulance coming past. I just want to say that sound so loud in the microphone. The microphone is so far away, and yet it was still so incredibly loud in my headphones when I was editing.
It was so quiet. It's not so really loud.
You can hear the.
Oh, come on. There can't be that much crime going on right now.
I think with the storm, it's less likely to be crime.
When I stick you wind.
No one likes those drinking sounds.
Okay, we're good. Sorry about that.
They wanted to make us cruel and scared and angry. And I am angry. And I am angry. And I'm scared. But I won't be cruel. Gwen, you're a doctor. Or, okay, you're a medical student, but still, if we turned you away, then Perry wouldn't. It's good that you're here. Gwen.
That's the thing. So it's a good point to make. So none of the script wasn't written with this setup in mind. Like the reactions weren't part of the scripts. I don't necessarily know, Ella, how you thought this was going to be recorded when we were organizing stuff. But I think we definitely sort of said to the actors, like, react to this. Like, you're all around a campfire, you're all having fun, you're all talking, you're all having a party. Like, react to each other doing things. So you've got that lovely reaction from Nicole there. That's fantastic.
Good that you're here. We wouldn't. You're a doctor. Or, okay, you're a medical student.
Just a beautiful bit of acting
still,
from everyone.
If we turned you away, then Perry wouldn't. It's good that you're here. And Gwen, you came back. You beautiful bastard. You came back, and I never thought you would. And Ben, you're the toughest nerd I have ever met. And that's saying something, because my best friend is Morgan Jones, and she once spent a whole 3 hours telling me about geometry.
That was also the I did was also improvised as well. Like, we've got such a good cast. Right, we lucked out and got the best cast. Like, they were willing to try anything that we kind of suggested, and also, like, whenever I was like, I want to do something kind of weird here, they were up for it. They were all up for it, and they read the assignment. And here at this point, this was like the second last day of recording. I think it was the second last day. Yeah. I think this was like the second last or the last day of recording. We had everybody here. So at this point, everyone had been recording for about like 5 or 6 days at this point. So like at this point, we all knew each other. Everyone was messing around. Everyone was also really tired because we'd been working really hard. So it was lovely to have this. And I really... It was really nice to see everybody playing around like this. There was something really nice about that.
Friends. And the world is over, but we're alive. As long as that's true, as long as we remember and we're telling stories and we're singing and we're looking at the stars, we're going to be okay.
But Paul's been locked in a room for almost a week. It's you know, I'm not gonna address these allegations again. I feel like I've addressed them. Hello, basically, Grandad, brilliant cast. Looks like they're really enjoying being with each other. Yeah, I think we had a good time. I think we all had a good time. Poor Paul.
I think we're going to be okay. Because that's what people are, right? In the end, it's what people have always been, telling stories and singing and dreaming of the stars. We haven't lost that.
You already admitted to this earlier today. Damn! Taking my words out of context.
Breath in our lungs and hope in our hearts. And as long as we're alive, we've got that. No matter what they do, no matter what they take, we've got that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sit down before you fall there.
Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Is that a can of the Iron Brew? And is that... Yes, it is. So all the liquid in that scene was Iron Brew, not sponsored. Not sponsored yet. I'm not against the idea of being sponsored by Iron Brew. Because obviously we couldn't serve them real alcohol, because for a myriad of reasons. Mainly because I think it was also in the morning. Or like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something. So we had a pallet of, I think, 24 cans of Iron Brew Extra, which is like the sugar-free, sort of like the Coke Zero equivalent of Iron Brew. So gave everybody a can of that. We also had a bottle of I think it was the Iron Brew 1901, like the original recipe that's like caffeine-free. We had bottles of that for anyone that wanted them as well. Yeah, that was kind of that was what people were drinking in that scene. They were drinking Iron Brew, which was just a nice little touch. Paul gets free of that room and is given a can of Iron Brew. It's like, congratulations. We had so much Iron Brew that week. Like we ordered way too much. I think. Now that I think about it, I think it was me that drank most of it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was the only person that was drinking. I think Ross was also drinking it, but I think for the most part it was me. Thank you, Scottish government, for fueling my Iron Brew habit. Yeah, so... that scene was fun to record, and I'm glad it worked. Like, I think whenever we tried something like this, Scottish government fueling the national drink, more likely than you think. Thank you, Scottish government. Like, I think sometimes, in fact, throughout the recording process, whenever we were trying something like this, I think there was always a worry in the back of my head of like, well, what if this doesn't work? You know, what if this doesn't work? What if this just sounds like they're in a room? What if it doesn't sound good? And the honest answer is, you know, you make it work. You know, you get by. You figure out a way to make it. You figure out a way so that it works. And that it it communicates what you need it to communicate. This is not the cleanest recording in the world. There are moments where you can sort of hear the room a little bit, but I don't think it matters. I think in this context, what we were trying to convey is this sense of people around a campfire, talking and laughing and joking and spending time with each other. And I think even with those imperfections, it still works. And yeah, I think I'm glad. Like, I was expecting this to be a lot harder to edit than it was. So, yeah, it turned out really, really well. I'm very, very happy about it. That scene was a nice to like re-hit that this is a callback to when stories were told around the fire. Amber and Ellie, you all did such a good job. Thank you. Creative Scotland audit, like, why? It comes under catering. It's fine. We bought it with the food order that ordered the rest of the food. Like, it was props technically. You know, it was like office manage. It was office stuff. It was studio stuff. We needed those 48 cans of Iron Brew for our art. Okay. What's next? How are we doing for time? We're doing okay.
Through to him, constantly heading
To Gareth.
my family.
That all those cheers were done on the recording. And the thing that I kind of love about this, and also like this is something that's happened throughout the series, is that I think if you give actors props, they'll use them in interesting ways. Like, for instance, at the very start of the scene.
Swans.
No one asked you for a speech, Di.
And yet, I'm giving you one anyway.
Like, that was Tobias. That was Tobias using the can opening to make a joke. And I love little moments like that. And and I love, there's been a few moments throughout the series where the actors have used props that we've given them in an interesting way, and have stayed in the script, have stayed in the final edit. Like with like Tobias and Robin messing around with the radio in the earlier episodes, or something like this, or Anne Carried like hammering stuff in the garage. There's also a wonderful bit in episode 4, which I don't have the audio for because it was Kai's scene, where it was the scene where Gwen is like trying to get the radio to work, trying to get the tannoy to work. Nicole like ran into the room and started like picking up and putting stuff down on the desk in the corner where the radio was, and started like hitting stuff and things to kind of keep things moving, to kind of add an extra energy to the scene. And it sounds great. It makes me really happy that we gave the actors that kind of freedom. And I think it's something that I definitely want to keep in future for stuff. Like letting the actors do their own Foley to a certain extent. Iron Brew manageable just, but if I got through the apocalypse and there was only Dr. Pepper, I think I'd go find a zombie nest. Yeah, so I like Dr. Pepper. Please don't cancel your subscriptions. But when we were in America, when I was in New York, I found strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. It was the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. It was horrible. Just avoid it at all costs. It was ugh.
Thing is shit.
Okay, it's not good. It's not good. It is awful. It is like. I looked at it and I'm like, look, I like Dr. Pepper, I like strawberries, I like cream. Turns out those things together, not good. I wanted to believe. I gave it a chance, but no. Also avoid spiced Coke? What kind of spice? Like, because spiced Coke, are we talking like paprika or like turmeric? Like, you're gonna have to. Is it just chili? You know what? That my brain's not computing that. That's okay. It says spiced on the label, but it's like a nasty fake raspberry. Oh, so it's like a kind of aniseedy kind of thing? Ugh, no, thank you. Ugh, get in the sea. What do we have? What do we have next? What's this next scene? So another wonderful kitchen scene. I love these scenes.
Oh, I think something died in my mouth.
It lives. Morning, handsome. Where's the head?
Tea's ready. Here.
Thanks, Bear.
I've gone over the kitchen scenes before, but like I just really like how dynamic they are. Like there's lots of different sounds. Like what I like about the kitchen scenes is that there's a lot going on without it sounding too busy. Like you've got Gellert goes on his own little journey throughout this scene. So he's like drinking water at the beginning. Goes for a wander. Tries to get some attention from... Gets itchy, scratches, shakes, sighs, goes off somewhere else. Has some food. So just like... So that's going on underneath everything. Like, meanwhile, you've got a kettle boiling. Somebody's playing around with plates.
Oh, I think something died in my mouth.
It lives. Morning, handsome. Where's the head?
Tea's ready. Here.
The little claw taps of Gellert having a wander makes me so happy. I really like all the sounds that I have for Gellert walking around. All of them make me incredibly happy. Like I love this sound. It's just.
I think something.
It's just lovely. It's very, very cool. But also you have this other little action going on where you've got Perry making tea. So let me see if I can find it for you. So you have the kettle boiling. Being taken off the hob. Pouring.
Morning, handsome. Where's the head?
So then it means Di sits down.
Tea's ready. Here.
Immediately there's a cup of tea there.
Thanks, Bear.
I love doing stuff like that, where you've kind of, like... I like doing stuff with sound design to give you an idea that something else is going on other than the main action. And these scenes are a really good, fun opportunity to do that. It's like parallax scrolling, but in audio. It makes me very happy.
Tea's ready. Here.
Thanks, Bear. Wayne, I think I'm gonna die.
Oh. Let me have a look at you. Well, I'm not a doctor, but nothing.
That's so clever. Thank you. Yeah, I love doing stuff like that and having stuff in the background. Gellert hydrating like a good boy. Yes, hydration is important. There's a lot of Gellert having a drink, which in these episodes, just because it's a very dynamic sound that you can kind of have on in the background. Late to the comment game, but hundreds of flavors of soda is a primary benefit of capitalism. Can communism beat that? Okay, but when you get to strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper, maybe capitalism has gone too far. There can be such a thing as too much joy. Spending the boffins at Dr. Pepper are spending so much time trying to think about what they could do. They didn't spend any time at all thinking about whether they should. Strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper is frankly an affront to nature. And is more proof that we have strayed so far from God. Try everything once except incest and Morris dancing, and now strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper. It's a good one. I get good. It's a good advice, I guess. Not gonna lie, the American in me was like a little confused for a moment about a kettle whistling, and then I was like, yes, Wales kettle. This is the little blind spot that I'm constantly caught out by. I forget that kettles are a very specifically British thing. But that being said, I will not explain it. Sadly, ethics and thoughtfulness isn't a primary benefit of capitalism. You make a very good point. So yes, you have that little background action going on. We're gonna have more background stuff happening in a second.
Gonna be fine.
No, do I have to?
Night! Night's coming down the shroud!
Zagwan.
Knights.
So okay. So here's the thing. I wanted. This is absolutely 100% a me thing, but you know the sound I have for like a front door being swung open really dramatically is a sound effect of a door being kicked open that I used for anamnesis. So it does sound a little bit, to me, because I know where the context of the sound is, it does sound like Gwen runs up to the front door and like kicks it open. Like,
Knights coming down the shroud!
Is that Gwen?
Knights. The knights are here.
I fucking knew it!
which is very silly. I do own a kettle, but not one that whistles. It's a very so whistling kettles are kind of an old-fashioned, more of like a stovetop kettle. So like basically what I used as inspiration was when my family used to go on hikes up mountains in Scotland. My dad would take like a little camping stove, little paraffin gas stove, and then there was like a kettle that went on top of it, and then like you put it on. There was a little thing that goes on the spout. You put it on the spout, and then when the steam starts coming out, it goes through the little whistle, the thing on top of the spout, and it whistles to let you know that the water is boiled. So then you take that off, and then you pour in the tea. Whistling kettles are very apocalyptic. I think so. For me, like, I don't know if this is just me, but whistling kettles always think to me like camping kettles, right? Camping, like independent gas stove stuff. See, without that, the context, the door sounds kind of like Gwen's just running full tilt and hits the door bodily because she's going too fast. I think that's kind of, I think that's what I kind of ended up going for. There is a very quiet running sound underneath. That is on Gel's track for some reason. Oh, that's an editing mistake. Oh, I feel really embarrassed now.
No, do I have?
It whistles because of the pressure. All right, oh, I'm sorry.
Do I have to?
Knights coming down the shroud!
Is that Gwen?
Knights.
Yeah, that should be on a different track. That's annoying. Yeah, I put that on the Gel track. That's embarrassing. Whoops.
Knights coming down the shroud!
Saw nothing.
Knights. The knights are here.
I fucking knew it!
So I love this scene. I love this scene so much. It's so good.
Gwen.
So it kicks off.
Gwen.
Knights. The knights are here.
I fucking knew it!
Ooh, Perry, calm down!
This isn't my fault.
Stop fucking lying to me!
What are you gonna do with that thing in here? Huh? Make a pull-up bar?
Both of you, calm down. We have bigger problems. Gwen, how long do we have?
Minutes, if that. They were on horses galloping through the snow, kicking it up like water.
Okay, Di, Morgan, Gwen, get upstairs and hide now. Gwen, you're with me.
Hammer. And what exactly are we doing?
Creating a distraction. Unless you want to just stand there looking pretty.
They have all the fun. As if.
So we get to do magic stuff now. So first big one was Perry's line here.
Stop fucking lying to me!
What are you gonna do?
Oh, that came out so loud, and it just really, like, not done on purpose, but it absolutely just cuts through the mix. It's so jarring, but in like a really good way.
Ooh, Perry, calm down!
This isn't my fault.
Stop fucking lying to me!
What are you gonna do?
So you've got this sort of sword sound here.
This isn't my fault.
Stop fucking lying!
So this is a video game sound effect of a sword being equipped. But what I did was I ran that through the granulizer I've been running all the magic stuff through, and then also I ran Robin's line through the granulizer at the same time while also down pitching it, I think 5 semitones or so. So you get this lovely little prefab bit of you get that lovely metallic distortion effect that was really, really lovely. And it's so loud as well, which is great. If you stick them all together.
This isn't my fault.
Stop fucking lying to me!
What are you gonna do with that
Like,
thing in here?
I think just the way the voices harmonize is just really cool. And then you get that metallic sound at the end as a little tail. Oh, it's good! And then with the music and, yeah.
Ooh, Perry, calm down!
This isn't my fault.
Stop fucking lying to me!
What are you gonna do with that thing in here? Huh? Make a pull-up bar?
Both of you, calm down. We have bigger problems. Gwen, How long do we have?
Minutes, if that. They were on horses galloping through the snow, kicking it up like water.
Okay, Di, Morgan, Gwen, get upstairs and hide now. Gwen, you're with me.
Hammer. And what exactly are we doing?
Creating a distraction. Unless you want to just stand there looking pretty.
Think of all the fun. As if.
Did a similar thing with Gwen's sword here.
All the fun.
It's just a nice big... Ooh, big magic powerful sword.
Di, come on!
This is all my fault.
Shing, exactly.
Stupid fire them, they wouldn't know.
Been going the whole series waiting for a big satisfying shing, and I finally got one. Love the shing. Listen to that.
Think of all the fun.
Oh, listen to that. Oh, it's kicking off. Yes. I do want to talk a little bit about the music here. So there's actually two pieces of music going on at once. So on the one hand, you've got, I believe this is just a drone. This very like unstable drone happening. Generated on, you guessed it, the Moog grandmother synthesizer. Just tweaking the filter over a drone just to make it sound very unstable and dangerous. And then also running that through the distortion and the delay on the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer, Stop Laughing, just to make it even more unstable. That's the distortion coming in. And then over the top of that, I've got the music that we've been hearing whenever they're talking about like Arthur or the Knights or like the call of their stories. But what I've done is I've run it through a granulizer effect, the same one that I used on the live piano earlier, which now sounds like this. Just make it, again, just unstable and very malicious and threatening. The drone sounds like the buzz of a cooling rod about to explode in a 1970s nuclear power plant disaster movie. Yes, because analog synthesizers are amazing! I love my Moog grandmother synthesizer. It's great for sound design and making noises. So if you put these two things together, this is what it sounds like. I just looked outside and there's fog. The weather got the program. Amazing. Yes, like it's going to get more Silent Hill towards the end of this, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I want to just draw a little bit of attention to the music here.
Find us, and now they have, and they're going to take us back, and I can't.
Di, Thomas, look at me. You are not going to do Arthur's work for him. You are not going to panic, and you are not going to give up.
Mysterious, hello!
Do you trust me? Di, do you trust me?
Yes.
Then trust me to protect you now. No one's going anywhere.
They're here!
Please don't die again.
I won't.
So, the music here is the same music that plays when Perry is fighting the Lantern Man. It's the same piece of music. So if we go all the way back to episode 3, where is it? I believe it's this one.
get over it and fuck off, or get closer and see what happens.
The bit where Perry gets their monologue, yeah.
Here's the thing, Lantern Man, or whatever the hell you are. My name is Peredia, Sir Peredia, and I'm a knight. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of anything. I'm the strong one. I'm the smart one. I'm the one who's always in charge. It's my job to protect them, and I am never going to fail in that duty, so you must...
Call back to episode 3, exactly. So then if you bring that back to... that's episode 4, so I want to be over here. If you contrast that with the end of the scene here.
Back and I can't.
Die, Thomas. Look at me. You are not going to do Arthur's work for him. You are not going to panic, and you are not going to give up. Do you trust me? Die, do you trust me?
Yes.
Then trust me to protect you now. No one's going anywhere.
So
They're here! Please don't die again.
this is one of the things I like about the fact that for these episodes I'm reusing a lot of music, is that we get to kind of recontextualize it. But then the other side of it as well is that it means that we get to do these callbacks to earlier on in the series and kind of use it as a way to target specific moments, being like, remember this happening, and we get to do that with music. It's one of my favorite things to do as a composer, is to be like, we can use music to call back to specific moments. Is it reusing if it's a motif? So a motif is more like a kind of musical phrase that you is kind of more like a specific musical phrase you put into different bits of music, whereas this is taking the same piece of music and just pasting it into a new spot. So it's not quite a motif, but I do love using motifs as well. Anyone who's listened to The Tower will know how much I like using motifs. There's a piece of music I'm going to talk about at the end. So like a motif, for instance, is, you know what, that's a lesson for another day. I need to have different music files open at once to kind of talk about that. Maybe have a specific music stream at some point about the whole series and kind of motifs and stuff. That sounds like a fun idea. Okay, so we now have... Hi, 'tis me, I'm the distraction, it's me. No, like, the thing about these streams is that, like, they're meant to be, you know, they're meant to be a place where you can ask questions about the series, and you can ask about things that are happening, and you can ask questions about knowledge. Hopefully I'll know the answer to them. But yeah, no, never apologize for asking questions. That's kind of what these streams are for. And I like answering questions, especially when I know the answers. Oh, I thought I was the distraction. Look, you're all distracting. You're all wonderfully distracting in your own unique ways. It's you, the person who gives answers. Yeah, like, you know, that's the other thing as well. Like, if you're asking me questions, it gives me an idea of what people are wanting to see. And then it means I can go, oh, well, I can talk about that. I can do a separate stream on that. So yeah, never apologize for being distracting. That's like, I enjoy the distractions. Because also as well, I don't want a stream where it's just me talking at you for 2 hours. That's not fun. That's not interesting. It's not a lecture. It's not a lecture series. Plot bunnies multiply. Amber, how tall is Perry? That sounds like an Ella question. I don't know. I'm gonna just throw a number out there and say maybe 5'9". It'd be a great lecture series, though. Thank you. 5'10". Okay, I was close. Be a great lecture series. Well, I mean, like, the thing is, these streams are available on YouTube. Hello, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube. these streams are available on YouTube for people to watch afterwards. So I guess you could say it is kind of a lecture series, but I like the idea of I like the fact that these are a bit the streams are a bit more chaotic and fun, and we go off on tangents and we talk about other things like that. That makes I'd much rather have that than have a very formalized. Like I don't structure these. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no structure or kind of flow to these. It's very much we're going to start at the beginning. I'm going to hopefully find something interesting to talk about, and then we'll be okay. Yeah. So I like how chaotic this is what I'm saying. So, start of this scene.
What's happening?
I don't know, I can't hear anything. Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking. Arthur's at the front.
Okay, so, a couple of things to keep in mind for this scene. I was thinking Perry was 5'5", and that's why they used the spear over a sword. That's an interesting thought, but I think, well, the spear is because it's a magic weapon rather than like a weapon of choice, right? So, a couple of things to... I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to talk about this. So, a first really small thing. This whole scene, all the vocals are in stereo. And so basically the way we had it, we had the microphone. So if you think of the microphones kind of like this, so you've got left channel, right channel, and then you've got the middle here. So I had Tobias here, and then I had Ankarad on one side and Nicole on the other. And basically what that means, because it's a tense scene and because they're hiding and because they're like kind of because they're like hiding and peeping and stuff, I very much wanted it to sound like you were huddling down with them. And by having them in stereo, you have that really close sound. But also because you've got one person over here, one person over here, and one person in front of you, it feels a lot more immediate and intimate. And if you just listen to this stuff on it, the dialogue on its own.
What's happening?
I don't know, I can't hear anything. Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking. Arthur's at the front, on a white horse like an arsehole. They've got banners now, blue and red with... Are those supposed to be crowns?
So because also as well, like, by giving each person an individual space in the audio field, you pick up lots of little details that you wouldn't necessarily pick up. So you can hear Nicole and Ankarad breathing while other people are talking, and it's really clear because it's got a very specific place in your head, which is really nice. Like, this was a thing I didn't know about stereo recording until I made this series, was you can use it to rather than creating space, which is just what I assumed you used it for, you can use stereo to create really intimate scenes by giving everybody, one person on the left, one person on the right, one person bang in the middle, and it means that everyone has their own space and everything's much more detailed and sort of high definition.
What's happening?
I don't know, I can't hear anything. Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking.
So, definitely shorter than pretty much all of the knights. Gwen has half a foot on them for sure. Ooh, very nice. My dad was a prop. He's 6'1". My God. So that's bits in stereo. The other thing is that there is a project file within a project file here, and it's this one called Outside. Did you have to do any wake-ups? Try that again. Did you have to do any pickups after the week of recording, like during editing for later episodes? We did. We did have to do some pickups, but what we did was when we booked the actors for the recording week, we also booked in, I think it was an hour of remote recording time, but it was very much, I think the episode that has the most pickups in it is episode 7. I think we got quite a few pickups for that for specific lines. But Ella can attest to this. Ella and I have very different opinions when it comes to pickups. My attitude as an audio editor is to kind of work with what you have. Work with what you've got. Try and make it work. And whereas as Ella is very pro pickup. Both approaches are valid. I think it's almost certainly for me, it's like a leftover from having to make things very quickly, and also not having the actors for very long. I think my attitude has always been just make it work with what you have. Whereas we had the time booked in, and we have taken advantage of it, which is good. But yeah, we do have some extra pickups for different parts of the series. I can't 100% remember where all of them are. But the fact that I can't remember where they are just means that like it wasn't a problem to stick them in the episode in the end. I tend to only ask for pickups if it's a pronunciation problem. Yeah, that's a good excuse for. I think they're a good thing. I'm not against them. It's just in the past I've been very much like, I'd rather we just figured it out with what we had, because also it's a nice challenge as well. Like I've used. Like in episode 4, I used a blooper track to like get extra breathing sounds for the end scene, so maybe we could have a little extra run up, which is good fun. That stereo is super effective for the hiding. It's mind blowing to see the radar, that fancy radar display. This down here, okay. The oscilloscope. No, it's not an oscilloscope. It's called something else. What the audio is doing, because it's in my brain exactly like where people are. Yeah, like. So I think this is my favorite. Can I figure out what it's called? The stereometer is what it's called, which is this round one down here. You sort of get a nice little, idea of where everything is.
What's happening?
I don't know, I can't hear anything.
Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking. Arthur's at the front, on a white horse like an arsehole. They've got banners now.
Thank you for answering. I'm just a curious person. I'm glad. Like I'm happy to answer questions. I'm here to talk about how the series was made. So if you have questions about how it was made, happy to answer those questions. So yeah, we have a project file within a project file. We have all the outside noises. We've sort of created an actually quite funny scene here. So one of the voices we have for the Knights is the voice of the fantastic actor Pip Gladwin. And just the way this has worked out. So Pip Gladwin was recorded remotely later on. The way this is... Well, the way it's become funny, if you listen to this bit in isolation, it just sounds like Pip is just very tired and is kind of so just over Gwyn and Perry acting like this. Like, listen.
Looking tired, Arthur?
Welcome
Riding
here.
across the country, too much like our
Right
boy.
now, or I will gut you.
Here's a good quest for you. Why don't you
Wayne.
turn around, stick that
Her dear.
flagpole way up your arse?
Stand down. Look. This isn't a fight you can win. I know she's in there. Bring her out.
So you just get this wonderful scene where you've just got Pip going, guys, come on. It's like a tired mum at the end of a day out, right? It's just like, come on. Look, can we go, please? It's just I love it very, very much.
Welcome
Riding
here.
across the country, too much like our
Right
boy.
now, or I will gut you.
Here's a good quest for you. Why don't you
Wayne.
turn around, stick that
Her
flagpole
dear.
way up your arse?
Stand down.
it's just very funny to me. I'm enjoying the Pip Gladwin appreciation. Love him in Victoriosity. Yes, he's very, very good in Victoriosity. Pip is just exhausted and would like a nap, please. Also, hi, Sakari the Witch. I think I didn't say hello earlier, so hi. Good to see you. It just makes me laugh. Also, I have to give a massive shout out here to David Charles, who plays Lapwing in episode 7, and Peter Wicks, who plays the radio announcer. I'll talk about it in a second, but basically they did a lot of Walla for the Knights. And basically, most of the Walla I ended up using was their takes for the Knights. And and it's great. I think you get David a little bit here. Oh no, that's Peter there. Hang on.
Doesn't have to turn nasty.
Oh no, that's Pip.
Hold up here forever. There's no. You're just playing for time.
That's Peter.
By order of the king. Stand down, man. Stand down. Hand over the whip.
That's David Charles there. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a lot about the Nightwaller in just a second, but for now, like for this scene, you've got you've got mostly just their voices. Thing about Foley, you could do an awful lot with not very much. The Beast is very good at Victorious to do. Thank you very much. I very, very much enjoyed working for it. It was a dream come true to work on Victoriosity. I don't know if there's a whole stream in going behind the scenes of what I did for that, but we can maybe talk about that at some point. On the topic of Victoriosity, there was also a cool Beast there. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. I also did the Beast sounds, but then I also did the scene in I think episode 5 in the communications office. With all the telegram machines going off, that was the other scene I did. I have an old typewriter, and I just spent an afternoon recording all the sounds that the typewriter made, and then creating this kind of like this big all these telegraph machines going off at once. That was good fun. That was good fun to put together. I can maybe talk about that in the future at some point. But yeah, so you've got Tired Night.
I don't know, I can't hear anything.
Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking.
So I think someone asked, how did we record the outside stuff? How did you get the outside noises? Mostly sound design. So for the outside stuff, right? So I'll talk about the effects. So all these tracks here, this is why I'm saying it's a project file within a project file. All this stuff is all the outside noises, and they're all running through these tracks here. So the way to get this sort of outside sound, but still seeing it from indoors. So the first thing is if I just play this scene, but if I turn the EQ off. Oh, I need to. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Bypass. There we go. So just bypass that for a second. So this is just the reverb that we're using.
Right across the country, too much like our
right now, or I will gut you.
Here's a good quest for you. Why don't you
Wayne.
turn around, stick that
Herdier.
flagpole way up your arse?
Stand down. Look.
So I think it might be clearer if I just play Pip's audio here.
Gawain. Herdier. Stand down. Look. This isn't a fight you can win.
So that's an echo rather than a reverb. So if you're wanting a more sort of immediate sound that isn't like cavernous, use echo rather than delay. Because if you listen to the echo there, it sounds like it's bouncing off the building and the nearby trees and things. It doesn't sound like they're in an open space. Or they're in a. It doesn't feel like it feels outside rather than inside.
Gawain. Herdier. Stand down. Look. This isn't a fight you can win.
So that's how you get. And then what I did was I ran that through an EQ which takes the top end off. It's not too dramatic, but it takes a lot of the high end off and just leaves the low end. So, but it does that on the echo as well. So that's why you get that nice outdoor sound.
Looking tired, Arthur?
Welcome
Right
here.
across the country, too much like our
Right now, or I will gut you.
Here's a good quest for you. Why don't you
Wayne.
turn around, stick that
Herdier.
flagpole way up your arse?
Stand down. Look. This isn't a fight you can win.
They've got very loud horses in there.
Bring her out.
But yeah. So we'll go from the beginning again.
What's happening?
I don't know, I can't hear anything.
Are they actually going to use those swords?
Yes.
Exactly how dangerous are these people?
Dangerous enough. What are Gwen and Perry doing?
Talking. Arthur's at the front, on a white horse like an arsehole. They've got banners now. Blue and red with... Are those supposed to be crowns? They look like a bunch of larpers.
That's what they are, basically.
What's a larper?
Nerds who dress up and pretend to be elves and shit in the woods. It's actually pretty fun. It's just...
Wait, I think something's happening.
Morgan, where's Camlann?
What?
The dagger. Morgan, where's
So
the
that movement is precipitated just by one tiny movement, which is this sound here, which is just an armor movement sound, but it's quite quiet in the mix. But it's this idea just to indicate that something is changing. Oh, sorry. Let me just put everything back in first.
Basically.
What's a larper?
I was so called out by that larper line.
It's actually pretty fun. It's just...
Wait, I think something's happening.
Morgan, where's Camlann?
What?
The
See,
dagger.
it's quite low in the mix, but it's like
Wait, I think something's happening.
it's enough. Like it gives Morgan's line something to react off, if that makes sense. It's the sound design leading the line rather than the other way around, which is kind of what you want. Die calling LARPers nerds and yet knowing not only what they are but that it's fun. I feel like that's
It's actually pretty fun. It's just...
that's sort of I think that's my kind of relationship with LARPing. It's kind of the I think it's a joke from The Office being like, oh, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be in one someday. Like, I think that's kind of where I am with LARPing.
It's actually pretty fun. It's just...
Wait, I think something's happening.
Morgan, where's Camlann?
What?
The dagger. Morgan, where's the dagger?
I left it downstairs. Die, they're coming down the path. Go in and Perry's shouting something. Fuck, I think they've seen us.
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
Okay. This is a big sound. Let's take it apart. Let's take it apart a little bit. So,
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
So, this is gonna drag Amber to LARP. I'm not like I think I'd have a good time. I think it would take me a while to get into it, but I think I'd have a good time.
Fuck, I think they've seen us.
Supposed to...
Watch out for the coffee table.
Fuck, I think they've seen us.
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
Okay, so I kind of wanted the sound to. I really wanted to have this feeling of the arrow like coming towards them, like flying towards them, and then it hits. So I'll take the. So you've got the. So you have this one sound here. So I don't know why that second sound's there, but okay. So you've got a crossbow shot here in the outside scene. If I turn that off,
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
Like if you take out the crossbow going off, it feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Go in and Perry's shouting something. Fuck, I think they've seen us.
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
So like, just by adding that one extra sound,
Fuck, I think they've seen us.
I was supposed to hide you. That's why I let you.
I think there's that sense where it like, I think you feel that, and I think if you're re-listening to it, you can kind of, it hits you before it hits Morgan, right? That's the feeling I was trying to get there. And then there's a whole load of stuff down here we're gonna have to talk about. So we have lots of different sounds going off. So we've got a bow and arrow sound effect, first of all. Just so you have that sound of an arrow flying through the air. And then I believe it's this one next. So that's a sound design whoosh. Just to make it heavier more than anything else. And then this is that's some wood being snapped, I think. Oh no, that's a window? Oh, window being smashed with an axe. Very whooshy. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few whooshes. Because you've also got one here. Which is a very, very loud, very high whoosh. If you put those two whooshes together along with the bow and arrow sound. I believe that's a window smashing. Yeah, window breaking. So you've got glass, you've got wood. What else have we got? That's more wood breaking. What's this? Yep, that's so this was a thing, right? So there was some discussion about like how big a bolt it was, and it was very much this idea that like Morgan is like shot back against a wall, and so it's why the hit happens twice. So you get that initial impact of the arrow, and then you get the impact of the wall, which is why you've got these two sounds here. And then you've got an extra sound. A little tiny bit of gore there, just to kind of it's quite quiet in the mix. But is the building multiple floors? Yeah, so they're upstairs at this point. But yeah, so the whole sound.
I was supposed to hide you, that's why I let you!
Right, let's put the outdoor sound back in. So you get Chris Packer being stomped on more than wood breaking. Yeah, I guess so. A little bit of wet. Yeah, you just want a little bit of wet. It's quite low. But it basically I didn't want it to sound. This feels awful talking about it this way. I didn't want it to feel bloodless, right? I wanted it very much to feel like it is a blood spattering sound effect. That was the it's a gore sound effect, I think. What's it called? Melee Deep Wound 5. Very wet. But when it's quite low in the mix, it's actually not so bad. Yeah, and having that all together, you get a massive impact, and then everything kicks off.
Fuck, I think they've seen us.
I was supposed to hide you, that's why I let you!
Using Gellert to add even more distress.
Okay, alright, okay. Morgan, can you hear me? Morgan!
Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's going to be a lot of things I'm probably going to miss. If there is something specific that you want to ask about, please let me know. I will try and get around to it. But I'm going to try and get through this as systematically as I can. So let's turn off the knights, because that's a separate thing. Let's turn those off for the time being. So you get the impact.
That's why I let you!
This is it without the outside bits.
Morgan,
Okay, alright, okay. Morgan, can you hear me? Morgan!
There's so much blood.
She's not breathing. Die. I need you to put pressure on the wound. We need to try and stop bleeding.
She's not. Why isn't she breathing?
Die. Focus. Just put your hands here and press down, okay? We haven't lost her yet. Holy shit!
What do we do?
Just stay calm. Oh god, her heart stopped beating. Die. What's going on? Die.
Morgan, wake up. Wake up, Morgan.
Die. I need you to calm down. Morgan, what the hell happened? Die. What? Why is he going?
Fuck off, Kate!
Okay, we need to resuscitate her now. Die. She's not responding.
We're going to have to do this in stages. I'm going to talk about the big sound at the end, just because it's kind of its own separate thing. So, a lot of sounds going off at once here. So it's mostly just the scene stays in stereo, because I'm very much like, you need to have a very definite idea of people moving about a space amidst all this noise. I'm so excited to learn how you did the final sound. It's kind of like, it was a fun sound to do, but I feel like it's not going to be particularly exciting to talk about in terms of what I used. My hair. So
Supposed to hide you, that's why I let you. Morgan.
Right, let's start from the bottom up. So the main sort of ambience you hear is this track here. I'll let you listen to it in isolation. nice ambience track underneath everything that's slowly building. So, that was not in fact the Mo grandmother. It was in fact, it was in fact the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer. Stop laughing. Basically, this is the first time I used this for sound design. It's the first time I've used it for actual work rather than just tweaking around for it. Basically, use this to make that nightmarish sound. It's a beautiful piece of kit. I love it very much. It's so weird and trippy and untamable, but yeah, I've finally got to use it for some sound design, and I think it sounds great personally. It's just got that lovely feedbacky delay, and the waves are all interfering with each other, so you get that kind of mechanical clicking sound that goes on and on. I love it very much. And then once sort of dye starts glowing, you get this extra sound here. So on its own, it sounds like this. It is a singing bowl that my I can't play very well because it needs to be washed and it's dusty. But it's a singing bowl that my parents got from Nepal when they were in Nepal, and they brought it back for me, which is really cool. I've again not used it on anything, so this was a nice opportunity to do that. And then what am I running it through? So first thing I did was I ran it through a filter, and the filter is like, it's a distortion, it's a filter distortion, and it kind of switches on and off. It's sort of this automatic sequence where it switches on and off. So if you just play that on its own, so it's not a clean sound. You've got that kind of randomized distortion effect coming in, and then that's being run through the this granulizer here, which gives it an extra sort of random skittishness to it. Gives it a grainy crunch to it, which is nice. And then last but not least, we have, of course, bisexual reverb. And then when you merge that with the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer, stop laughing. You get this very sort of fizzy electric sound that feels like electricity, like the staticky kind of sound that's in the air. And it does feel like something is happening while all this other stuff's going on.
Just stay calm. Oh God, her heart stopped beating. Di, what's going on? Di.
Morgan, wake up. Wake up, Morgan.
Di, I need you to calm down. Morgan.
Bisexual Reverb by Singing Bowl is the album I didn't know I needed. Like a charged moment before a lightning strike. That was exactly it. That was precisely That was precisely what I was going for. Was this idea that like something is about to go off, something is about to happen throughout this, because this is everything going wrong, right? This is the moment before the Deus Ex Machina, where everything is going wrong, everything is falling apart, and all hope is lost.
Morgan!
Morgan,
Okay, all right, okay. Morgan, can you hear me? Morgan!
Everyone is acting so hard, and it's amazing.
Morgan, can you hear me? Morgan!
There's so much blood.
She's not breathing. Die. I need to put pressure on the wound. We need to try and stop bleeding.
This sound will make more sense, but that idea is like that's the knights breaking into the cottage.
Put pressure on the wound. We need to try and stop bleeding.
She's not. Why isn't she breathing?
Also, like, it's quite low in the mix, but I added like this sort of rattling of furniture. Just to create this extra level of like everything's moving.
On the wound. We need to try and stop bleeding.
She's not. Why isn't she breathing?
Die. Focus. Just put your hands here and press down. Okay, we haven't lost her yet. Holy shit!
Oh no, Ella's Nana's cottage, how dare.
Holy shit!
What do we do?
Also, so this is another really good thing about stereo recording, is that you get moments like this.
Holy shit!
What do we do?
Where like Nicole is turned away from the microphone, but you get the room tone as well, and it feels a lot more reactive.
Holy shit!
What do we do?
Just stay calm. Oh god, her heart stopped beating. Die? What's going on? Die!
Morgan, wake up. Wake up, Morgan.
Die, I need you to calm down! They're coming! Morgan!
And then again you get the room tone here, because at this point I think I'm trying to remember the way we set this one up. So I think Paul and Robin were like on this side of the room, like basically like I think they came into the studio and were over by the door, so they were physically pushing against the door while that was there, so you got that movement.
They're coming! Morgan! What the hell happened? Die! What? Why is he going?
Oh, fuck off, Kay!
Okay, we need to resuscitate her now. Die!
That'll help heal a Penadier!
She's not.
So it meant that you had Nicole and Tobias really close to the microphones, and then you had Paul and Robin like further away. So there was that sense of space even in the even in a stereo recording.
She's not responding.
And then you get
no.
And then it all goes off. So that's that half of the scene. So let's talk about the knights. So let's go from let's play this through sequence, then we can talk about it.
Surrender yourself! Give them the name of the king! Give thyself up! Give them the strength! Give yourself! Put them back!
It just makes me really happy.
King Arthur! Open this door! Surrender yourself! The name of the king! Give thyself! Give yourself!
So okay, there's a lot going on here. So the main one. So let's talk about the Waller tracks. Again, I think it's just. Yeah, so it's Pip, David Charles, and Pip, David, and Peter doing different things, and it's wonderful. All of them are wonderful.
You die! Surrender yourselves! For the name of the king, give thyself up! Give... No retreat! Give yourselves up! Push them back! Come on! Hold the line! Take this! No surrender! Attack! Come on! Come on out of there! Give them the... Get out! We're almost surrender yourselves! For the name of the king, give thyself up! Give yourself up!
Oh, so I just realised I forgot to take out. I forgot to take out Peter saying thank you. So you just got.
Get out! Oh, we're almost through.
Woo! Thank you.
That's still in the. That's in the episode. Whoops. What was that sound? You can sort of hear Peter saying thank you in the mix. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. Right. What else? What else do we have in here? So what's this?
In the name of King Arthur, open this door!
Sorry, let me just take all this out. Right, so this is just a bunch of armor sounds for when they're like at the door. So whatever, thanks as comrades. Just bashing the door and then just going, thank you. This is why you roll with disadvantage on stealth and plate armor. It's real loud. So that's that one. What else we got? So these are all vocals. Yeah, so the thing that makes this is like there's an underlying scene. So the first one is there's really quietly in the mix, there's like a battle charge sound. Oh, sorry, I forgot to take out that. He just deflected a blow. Oh, thank you. So there's that for the beginning, and then once they're actually in the house, there's this audio. That's that I found on Freesound. It's just called Bar Brawl Next Room .wav. Turn the effects off. Hang on. Oh crap! So this sound is like underneath the whole scene, because basically Ella kind of wanted it to sound like the house was being trashed and was being filled with knights, and like everything was breaking, everything was being overturned, while Gwen and Perry were kind of fighting them back. This is all one sound, like just off Freesound. And I think that gets louder as well. Ella Nana's house, how dare! Like, because also as well with the extra effects on, it just sounds really cool. The thing is, if you take those sounds and put the wall out underneath. So it's only 3 people doing all the voices of the knights, but like.
Surrender yourselves! For the name of the king, give thyself up! Give no retreat! Give yourselves up! Push them back!
It just sounds really dynamic, which is really cool. You can do a lot with not very much walla. Like that sounds like a lot of people when it's only 3 voices. Right, what else do we have? What else we got? We have. Was ist this? Oh yes, so we've got the hunting horn. What are these sounds here? Oh yeah, so these are just just sword sounds. I think I added in. Yeah, just sword scrapes and things. And like it's the same sound. It's just dotted throughout, just to add a little bit of extra dynamics to the scene. So if you just have it with the bar fight ambience. Adds a bit more rhythm and a bit more movement. In my head, there were like 10 to 15. I think that's kind of in the fiction of the story. I think there are meant to be 10 or 15 or so. But the way the voices blend together with the bar fight ambience, I think it just makes it seem a lot bigger, which is what you're going for. I thought there was a whole army of them. Initially, there was. When I sent through the first draft, Ella was like, "There are far too many knights here." Just like there's way too I had a whole army to begin with, and then it was just like, no, it's meant to be like a dozen guys. I'm like, oh, okay. What's this? All right, so these two are knights going down the track. I think that's just all these tracks is just armor movement. Yeah, this is just armor movement. I also hid so one of the sound packs I got in the last pack I bought. It came with one of them was like action voices. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so it sounds like this.
Look out! Cover me! Cover me! Taking cover! Go, go, go! Look out! Look out! Cover me! Cover me! Taking cover! Go, go!
So, I hid one in the soundscape here. That pack of some Doom movie energy, right? It's awesome. I love it. That's hilarious out of context. It is. So yeah, you've got movement, and then also I've got a sword battle down here as well. See, on its own doesn't sound like much, and none of these effects on their own kind of don't sound like very much. And then I think there's a dog here. And then I've got a more dogs down here. Bigger dogs. But the great thing is, once you have all this stuff in context, like, it sounds great. Because, oh, hang on, there's more sounds here. What's... Yes, that's running up the stairs sounds. And then more sounds going up the stairs. And then the delightful Felix Trench.
In the name of King Arthur, open this door!
Also, there's a knock in the sound effects, I think there's a knock. I just loved the idea that Kay knocks on the door first.
In the name of King Arthur, open this door!
It's just that I just thought it was very funny that Kay decides to knock. Whereas everyone else is already trying to break it down. I just thought it was very funny. Yeah, and then you put that all together and you have this delightfully chaotic. Oh, sorry, that's not even everything.
Surrender yourself! Give them the name of the king! Give thy son up! Give no retreat! Give yourself! Put them back! Hold the line! No surrender!
So I'll play the whole scene just so you can kind of hear it all in context. So we've got it here.
Okay, alright, okay. Morgan, can you hear me? Morgan!
There's so much blood.
She's not breathing. Die. I need you. Put pressure on the wound. We need to try and stop her breathing.
She's not. Why isn't she breathing?
Die. Focus. Just put your hand here and press down. Okay, we haven't lost her yet.
What do we do?
Just stay calm. Oh God, her heart stopped beating. Die. What's going on? Die.
Morgan, we got Morgan.
Die. I need you to calm down. Morgan. What happened? Die. Where's he going? Okay, you need to resuscitate her now. Die.
Oh! No. That's the other thing I added. So, with the singing bowl, I also added in just a generic sort of tinnitus hum here. Just thought I'd go a bit Hollywood and add that in. That's quite quiet in the mix just because I find it that sound just difficult to listen to. Classic tinnitus, exactly.
You need to resuscitate her now. Die.
Is that an ECG flatline? No, it's just a flat tone. It's just a flat tone generator. I think they probably come from the same place, but you know, it's just a sine wave, a really high pitched sine wave. One time I saw a thread where people are like, "What is that cliche high pitched sound they use all the time in the movies?" The idea was initially that after, I think in the script, whatever Di does at the end, it was meant to have that high pitched ringing at the end, but it didn't quite work. But I still wanted to keep it in, so I ended up putting it before instead.
No.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. So, an important thing to start with, and flames, because Di is fire, exactly. So, I'm happy for them that they don't know about tinnitus. Yeah, that is kind of a bizarre feeling now I think about it. So, one thing to keep in mind, so throughout the series, I have tinnitus, so whenever I hear it in a thing, I'm like, yes, hello, you. Hello, old friend. And everyone dies. Next episode is just half an hour of burning building sounds. Oh, I wish. That would have been so much easier to edit. Throughout the series, whenever Di has been at the fire, like right from episode 1, there's been this additional track down here called Fire Magic, and it's a track that the fire sounds specifically have been going to. That's, you can hear it just now. It's just a granulizer. So that's been going. That's been going on throughout the series whenever Di has been at the campfire, right before the reveal as well. Much easier than what? Oh, I'm not telling you. Nice try, but I'm not telling you. I didn't go through this project file marking specific tracks as spoilers to give it away like that. We go back to Odysseus. But yeah, so the reason why that fire effect has been there is for this specific moment at the end of that's episode 9. At the end of episode 8. They say he's still looking for land. Yeah. So it just cuts back to Odysseus going, "Where are we again?" Well, it was worth a shot. It was a good try. So you get this match sound effect. Nope, that's not the match sound effect. You get the match sound effect. That's also not the match sound effect. Where the hell is this match sound effect? So first of all, the no is also doubled on the fire magic track. No. Is it on Gel's lair? Oh, you! Hey.
No.
Oh, I'm so annoyed that I did that. That's ugh.
No.
So both the no and the fire are running on this magic track. And then we get a whole bunch of stuff. So let's is that? Oh, it's the credits. I was like, what the hell's that? So we get the ever elusive match sounds. Hi Mechamora, good to see you. How you doing? A good match is hard to find. Yep, so I think somebody asked if the match was literal or metaphorical. It's metaphorical. The idea is that this is like a moment inside Dai's head. This is a point where Dai just sort of disappears and then something happens and we don't quite know what it is yet. So you get this. And also it's the same match effect from episode 1 when Dai was lighting the fire in the first place. So it is a callback to that specific moment. So you get this match going off. The match that metaphorically breaks the Dai's back. Yeah, pretty much. Right, let's go through this bit by bit. So these are all different variations of fire. Like, this is what I was saying. It's not particularly clever thing. I just layered up a bunch of fire sounds. So we have this one, symbolic or an easy reuse of Foley. Both, I think. I think that it's happened a couple of times in this episode where I've reused Foley, but in a way that's like metaphorically interesting. I think a thing can be both, right? And I think it was a deliberate use of that sound. I very much liked the idea of, I wanted to put that sound in there because I think there isn't that sort of, I think in the script it's very much just like a big explosion happens, whereas I kind of wanted that to be a moment of I wanted to kind of stop, have a sound, and then do the thing, and lighting a match seemed to be the interesting. And also, like, you know, there's a lot about lighting fires. This is very much a series about lighting a fire. It starts with Dai lighting a fire, and I definitely kind of wanted this episode to end that way as well, to kind of recontextualize it a little bit. And then the first sound is ethereal flame. Get that nice stereo effect there. And then over here we have an impact sound. It doesn't quite have a thump to it, which is slightly frustrating. Down here we have the match sound. And then what's this? Big fire movement, apparently. So what I very much wanted I wanted it to feel like this like thing moving outwards, right? This thing moving outwards and then kind of breaking like a wave, right? So it means you get wave, and then it breaks. So that was the movement I was going for. This thing pushing out and then breaking. And so with these sounds, you get the movement. That kind of pushing out sound, that kind of momentum. And then the other side of it, you get this sound here, which is like a fire spell, I think. Big fire, build fire into bursts. So it goes... It's like a sort of wet fire sound. And it's also slightly metallic as well, which I really like. So that kind of comes at the end. And then you have a couple of other like effects here as well. Wet fire, exactly, yeah. Yeah, so we've got some like electrical effects as well. So this is the first one. It's called Impact and Fry, which was one of the less popular double acts of the 1970s. Just to give you that kind of electrical feeling, as a kind of resolution to that sort of build up of the scene before, where you've got the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer, Stop Laughing, and the singing bowl kind of generating that static electricity. Wanted to have that kind of sound there, and then also there's the sound of a Tesla coil. Sassy Catastrophe, I notice every time I say the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer, Stop Laughing, you put a laughing emoji in the chat. It feels very pointed. But yeah, so you've got these electric sounds here. Yes. Yeah, I see you too, Mysterious. And then extra fire sound. And then also there's the sound of a wildfire here as well. Which is like a much more organic fire sound to kind of keep things. And then also the wildfire goes into the sort of static fire at the end of it, right? Like that. So it is just a bunch of fire sounds layered up, and then with some electricity sounds underneath. So you get that kind of So if you take out the electricity sounds, you get this. Which still sounds great, but adding the electricity sounds gives it so much more of a thump and gives it a lot more just like unstable energy, that it takes it from. It gives it more of a punch. It makes it punchier. It's a wonderfully unsettling series of sounds that make something that really took me off my feet in the scene. Thank you. And it's the electricity sounds that really carry you, I think, because you have that kind of deep bassy thump, and then you have the kind of static electricity over the top of it. So and then, it's the sort of equivalent of having, like, when you get caught up in a wave, the water's in your ears, and it's kind of playing havoc with your senses. That's kind of what those electricity sounds are doing in this wave of fire that we've created. We love electricity in this household. We absolutely 100% love electricity in this household. Because if you have these sounds alongside the singing bowl and the Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer, Stop Laughing, you do get that kind of let's see if I can time this properly. I'm loving the commitment to the bit here. Like, it's good. So that's the singing bowl and the lyra. Get the delay, and then so it feels like you do have that continuous sound. The Stop Laughing part is the funniest part of the name. Like, it's just like oh god, like, it's heavy. But look, organismic synthesizer. Stop laughing. That's what it's called. Look. Lyra 8 organismic synthesizer. Stop laughing. It makes really awful noises. It's the nightmare machine. It makes terrifying sounds. Listen to the sounds it makes. Listen to the organismic sounds. Stop laughing. Stop laughing at the organismic sounds. It's a very serious machine. I'm gonna get a little post-it note and stick underneath it that just says "Stop laughing" underneath the title. Stop laughing at my synthesizers. They were so expensive. Someone get Amber's wife back. She's gone all week. She's gone all week, so who knows what I'm going to be like by Wednesday. Good grief. They've gone off on one. Everybody kept laughing at my organismic synthesizer. Stop laughing! Oh, okay, where am I? Right. I think that's the episode. Have I accidentally moved something? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Okay. Do I have anything? Oh, yes, I do. I do actually have something to talk about before we finish. So in the campfire scene, there's a very quiet piece of music in the mix right here. It's quite short. So the piece of music is a lot longer. The full piece of music is a bit longer. If you give me just 2 seconds, I'll just quickly, let me just go back over here while I load it up. We ended up not using the full track, but it is going to go on the soundtrack album. So I do want to take a second just to talk about it, if I can find the project file. Oh, never mind. There's a stream on Wednesday. There will be a stream on Wednesday, yes. I think I'll probably do... it's either going to be a music stream, or I might be making some music from scratch, or I might be doing some tinkering with some radio pieces. But I'll figure that out. So this is the piece of music that we used. So what I did was I took the drinking song that Gwen sings at the beginning and then everyone's singing around the campfire, and I did a solo guitar version of it, which sounds like this. On Wednesday I'll be exam free finally. Oh, congratulations! So, this is the rest of the arrangement. Around a campfire. Yeah, that was very much what I was going for. Like, it was kind of nice to just do an arrangement like this. If you listen to this while petting your sleepy cat, you will get teary-eyed. add a little extra touch in here. It sparkles, yeah, it's the granulizer again. The granulizer and bisexual reverb, the dream team. So this ended up not getting used in the episode, but I am still going to put it on the album because I really like it. And you hear a bit of it in the thing, but I like the idea of having the full thing on there. Is it supposed to be kind of longing, but also kind of homecoming? Exactly. Like that was exactly it. Like it was meant to play under Dai's speech during the campfire scene, but it didn't work. It led the audience in a direction that it wasn't supposed to. And it made the speech bigger than it was supposed to be. So we ended up kind of dialing it right back and just putting it in just in very specific moments in the speech. Please tell me we'll be getting a Camlann album soon. Yes, we will be. Once the series is out, we'll be. In fact, like I think maybe that's what I'll do on Wednesday. I think on Wednesday what I'll do is I'll spend a bit of time. You can watch me as I collate the album together and start pulling the soundtrack album together and start organizing the tracks and naming them and things. It basically it'll be a sort of retrospective on the soundtrack before the final episode. I think we can do that on Wednesday. I think that's a nice way to spend an evening, I think. So yeah, we can do that. So that'll be the stream on Wednesday. But yeah, so I wanted to show you that piece of music just before we close out. Okay. That's the end of the stream. That is episode 8. I've gone way over time. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. It's been wonderful. I've absolutely adored these streams and I love them very much. Like, I enjoy talking about this stuff. I enjoy talking about it. If you've been watching these streams for a while, you know that I love talking about this stuff. But yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be putting together the Camlann soundtrack album. Thanks for the excellent morning streams as always. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. I've oiled so many tent ropes. My hands are super soft now. Aww. A stream never ends early or late. It ends exactly what it needs to. Thank you, Mecha Moira. We'll be back on Wednesday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I will hopefully see you back here on Wednesday for some more Camlann music stuff. So thank you very much. I'm going to go sleep. Good night.